welcome back to a new meeting. This time we have Louise and, as usual, Tiff. So, welcome to the meeting, to the video, girls.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, shall we start? What's your disability or diagnosis?
I've got a emotionally unstable personality disorder, along with anxiety and severe depression.
So that means you have like multiple personalities, or
Yeah. Basically, I can't control my personalities or my emotion or anything. It can change, fluctuate from any minute to hour. You know, it's just never the same. It's a nightmare, if I'm honest. People always make jokes and say I've got 27 personalities. I always count and tell them there's more.
Okay, so basically you're dealing with, it's like a psychological, mental disability.
Yeah. It's the best way for me to describe it is, so like, obviously regular people get the normal sad or happy, confused or overwhelmed. I can get all of them emotions in one, but then my subconscious is always thinking the worst of things. It's quite difficult to see the positive in anything.
Okay, I understand.
Very
Tiff,
difficult.
would you like to do the next question?
Sure. Do you have any chronic pain?
I can suffer really bad migraines. I can be that stressed out that I'm aching all the time. I don't want to do anything. My stomach hurts. I can have backache. You know, it's just the normal things. Obviously, when you're stressed, you're really tense. So I have to try and not be tense, but at the same time, it's difficult to not to be, if that makes any sense to anyone.
Yeah, it really makes sense. Like, you don't want to stress, but at the end you finished getting stressed by other things.
Yeah. It's like you can resolve one issue and then there's about 30 more that need doing.
So next question is, what are some of the struggles you face on a daily basis that are specifically related to your disability, like mental pain or anything you want to share?
Well, on a day-to-day basis, it's really difficult at times to just feel like a normal parent. Obviously, I've got 2 young children, 2 and 6, and you know, I lost a little boy, and I just constantly think that something bad's always going to happen to my eldest because he's in and out of hospital for surgery. My youngest, I'm always worried about because she's young, she's female. I'm just always on edge, and it's just, I see all these parents going out and, like, you know, on Instagram or Facebook, like, oh, look what my kid's done today, and I sit there in the house and I feel accomplished if my kids have a meal on time or if they go to bed on time, or, you know, not if we've gone out for ages, because I don't know, it's just hard to just go and try and live a normal life when I feel like I'm being judged all the time.
Yeah, so as I understand, you are always thinking on what's going to happen instead of what's happening in the moment. Is it right?
Yeah.
What is a story you could share about your disability?
It's quite difficult. It's all I can really say about sharing it is the fact that I was ashamed for a long time of feeling depressed. You know, I had severe postnatal depression with my son when he was first born. You know, he's coming up to 7 years old now. I didn't bond with him. You know, it makes me sound like an awful parent, but I didn't bond with him for ages because I had severe postnatal depression. You know, I had a 14.5 hour labour. I was exhausted. I had to have an emergency C-section. I didn't want the doctors to give me pills and think that that's going to make me feel better, because I'd always been anti-pills, always, you know, even when I felt poorly, I never took paracetamol, ibuprofen. I was always anti-pills. And one thing that I should really say to people in that situation is just never deny help. Because I think if I'd actually accepted it and accepted the way that I was from the start, I'm not sure I'd be half as bad as I am now. But at the same time, I've been through a lot as well. You know, it's a very difficult thing for anyone to understand. And to be honest, I seen one psychiatrist and he diagnosed me like straight away. And half the time you have to see more than 3 to be diagnosed with anything. So I bet he was happy to just see the back of me, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And one thing that I think that people should understand that it's normal to see psychologist or psychiatrist, as well as normal to see any kind of doctor. So it's like it's a normal thing.
Yeah, I've made it a real point now, because I work as a bank healthcare assistant at the QMC hospital. So my career is good. You know, I'm building up on my career. I'm trying to really educate myself at the same time as be somebody that people can speak to, and I can save people's lives. You know what I mean? It's a big thing. And it's like being there for people when it's coming to the end of their loved one's life. I can relate to them big time. Yeah, they might be a lot older, but that's where the love comes from. You know what I mean? You know, I never got that time with my son physically breathing. You know, I had the time in my womb, but it's not the same as looking into his eyes or hearing a cry or anything, you know?
Yeah.
So I think people just need to understand and stop being so judgmental against things, because at the end of the day, they might not have any sort of disability or anything. I've got problems, I've got disabilities, I've got mental health problems, fine. But look how far in life I'm going to go compared to you lot that's sitting on the fence and being judgmental towards me.
Yeah, that's understandable. Tip, would you like to do the next question?
What is a misconception people have of the disability?
They think because I'm on medication to help try and regulate my emotions and stabilize my moods, they just presume if I'm not on the medication that I'm psychotic, I'm abusive, I'm this, I'm that, I'm the other. It's not the case. You know, the medication, yeah, it does mellow me down, but it stops me being more, it stops me more self-harming, stops me more having the thoughts of killing myself, not harming anybody else. You know, I worship the ground people walk on. I trust way too quickly to be stabbed in the back every single time I open my arms up to help someone. And you know what? I am not helping nobody in the future. I am sick of being stabbed in the back because they think that they can take me for granted, and I can't do it. I'm not doing it anymore. They can sod off. Honestly. But no, I'm not trouble. If anything, people might, you've got more issues of me trying to hurt myself than you have of me hurting anyone else.
Yeah.
You have to really push the boundaries for me to want to physically hurt you.
And this is what I think. You have to be good with yourself in order to be good with everyone else.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm
So
just,
it's just exhausting the way we are.
yeah, I can imagine. If you receive negativity about your disability in public, how do you deal with it?
I think half the time I don't usually go out unless I'm with either my husband or my children. But whenever I feel that I'm getting to quite a bad stage, I tend to either, if I'm with my children on my own, I will ring somebody, and just sort of being on the phone to somebody whilst with them calms me down a bit. Whether that be my mum, my husband, or even my sisters. My sisters get quite annoyed. I think I just ring them just to moan, but it helps. But no, majority of the time, I won't even go out unless I'm with my husband or at work. Because at work, you're that busy in a hospital, you ain't got time to think about going to the toilet, let alone sitting in your own mind for a few hours.
Yeah, sometimes the only thing that you need is being with your own, just being with you than being with other people, so that you can calm down, self-control, and all that stuff.
Major distraction for me is a really good thing. So I
Yeah.
like cleaning ovens.
Jeff, would you like to do the final question?
I'll let you do it.
Okay. Just to finalize, to finish this interview. So, why do you think it's important to raise awareness for people with or without a disability?
People just don't understand enough about them. If you say for instance, a guy called Jerry walking down the street and you ask him what a disability is, he's going to instantly think, someone with a disability, someone in a wheelchair, somebody that's got tubes down the throat to breathe in the house every day. Someone with a disability is somebody that doesn't leave the house, that's tied up, that's living in a hospital on an ICU unit. They don't think of disabilities being in the mental health sector of your mind. They don't think of it being, some people can have slight physical disability, but majority of it being mental health. There just is not enough awareness about it. Everyone they have their own perceptions on it, and it's like, you could look perfectly healthy, but you could have a condition where you constantly pass out every 20 minutes and nobody knows.
Mhm.
You don't broadcast it, you don't show it around, but people judge you every single day. You have
Mhm.
hair up in a ponytail, you're lazy. You have your hair down, you've got makeup on, you're a slut. No, it's too judgmental out there, honestly. I wear makeup and they're like, where are you going? I'm like, oh, I'm going to go to Aldi and see what guys are ready for over the counter. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
you can't do anything anymore. People are too judgmental. They need educating on disabilities and not just sit there thinking that they're all that because they can wear the trousers below the pants and walk around the streets at midnight.
Yeah, and also think about, there's not only physical disability, but there's also mental, intellectual, and
There's
other,
absolutely loads.
yeah, other kind of disability, not just physical. And as you, there are disabilities that are not seen, not seen
Exactly.
like not seen like person that uses a wheelchair. This is a seen disability, but the unseen disability could be a mental, could be autism, could be other kinds of disability. And I
Neurological,
wanted to,
everything.
sorry.
Neurological behaviours and everything, major disabilities. So.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The reason I want to include this type of disabilities, the people that are like in the non-STEM disabilities, is because I want people to learn that there are other kind of disabilities like mental, like autism, like Down syndrome, and other kind of disabilities that are not as seen as physical disabilities.
Mm-hmm.
So with that said, I want to thank you, Lou, for allowing us to do this interview with you and allowing yourself to talk about all these things, because there are things that you don't hear in a daily basis. So thank you so much.
No problem.
So if you like this video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. As I always said, videos 2 times, once a week or twice a week. Thank you.